And joining me now is the gifted artist behind this awesome mural, Ignacio Garcia. Ignacio, beautiful work. I want to know what it feels like to be invited to be a pivotal piece of the 100th anniversary of the rodeo.
I mean, first of all, I'm beyond honored. I mean, just to have the 100-year anniversary for the Tucson Rodeo, just that itself, I'm beyond humbled, honestly.
What's the reaction been so far?
Way more than I expected, and very emotional too for the public, and it's I guess especially for the true locals. They literally feel like they can see themselves in this, and for that I did not expect that core to their soul. And so to me it's just, I'm honored to know that I can share that with them and to actually show, you know, that their words and their stories speak, and that was my goal.
There's a lot behind this, the faces on that mural. Tell us about the concept, who these people are, and what this says.
Well, it's a mixture of everything. So the past, the present, the future, and overall the diversity of cultures. And the point is, I'm not trying to narrow it for one specific culture. It's the culture of mixed cultures, because mixed cultures it's always been in the root of Tucson. And those stories, it's a survival story. And that grit of that survival, we need each other. So, and that's the thing, the beauty about the Sonoran Desert is that we find ways to help each other out, you know. So, but yeah, I mean, it's a tough world. I mean, you got to understand, back in the days, you know, the weather was just extreme. So you had to be tough to survive out here. Yeah.
It's the kind of piece people will react strongly to. Now, what it's like being a muralist, your work is not in a gallery. No. It's up there on a wall, and most of the people who see it are driving by or walking by, and you don't really get that initial reaction, do you?
I don't. I think I'm just so focused on the mural that I think after a couple years later, then I see my work, and I haven't seen it in a while, kind of get a new fresh set of eyes. And I look at it and then I'm like, oh, okay, I can actually finally appreciate it. But for the most part, it's just, this mural is for the public. Every mural that I've done is for the public, and anyone can just use it and take pictures of it. So you don't have to ask permission. I mean, it's my gift to Tucson, and for anyone that comes and visits Tucson.
And let me ask you again, I know you get a lot of more casual reaction, but what has been the reaction, the emotion, when the public is walking by and they look up and there you are and there is your mural?
I mean, immediately they see like they're looking at some relative, and they're like, oh, that looks like my uncle, that looks like my grandfather. And just that connection, I mean, I just get chills just thinking about that, to know that I'm capturing that. And then overall, people actually, like men, like tough men, are emotionally crying. This hasn't been spoken in a very long time. And for that, to know that this piece of art can actually have a voice for them, they are more emotionally satisfied with that.
And you must be pretty emotional too. You have 3 months of your heart and soul and talent in this.
Yeah, 3 months. Yeah, this is the longest one I've ever took to paint this massive mural. It's not the biggest one though, but this is the biggest one here for me, for Tucson. But the longest, definitely, for sure. Usually it takes me like 3 weeks average of a mural now. Yeah. But this is 3 months. It's just wild.
Yeah. So stand back in this moment. What are you thinking and feeling looking at that?
Beyond honored. I'm beyond flattered. And for me to represent Tucson and the Sonoran Desert and the history that goes behind it. I'm beyond words with that, even myself, to show Tucson the history of that, and anyone that comes in and looks at it, to actually to capture that. My goal is for them to kind of go and step inside a part of history. You know, they're walking in this painting and they're becoming this and being embraced by this beauty of what Tucson is. You
probably have people coming, pulling into this parking lot, parking here and just looking at your mirror.
Oh my God,
hours.
It's endless. I mean, I think it's going to become a destination for sure. Yeah. You know, people are just taking pictures and just sitting back. I mean, people are just parked here, or during the weekend, especially during the weekend, it's people just come and just sit back and just enjoy and kind of analyze the whole thing. In fact, there's some little Easter eggs there. So I left them there just for that purpose, so they can actually engage more with the piece. So that way they can see more and soak in more of the experience of the mural for Tucson.
Nice.
And the Tucson Rodeo too as well.
And how? 100 years.
100 years.
Wow.
It's I'm just beyond like 100 years. I just can't believe it. I mean, it's like the longest rodeo running. Like I'm like, I can't imagine that. It's just crazy. It really is. I'm excited because of that, honestly. Yeah.
And honored. Yeah.
Yeah, an honor
given
too,
a great
you're right.
honor.
Yeah.
Well, Ignacio, great work, and thank you for sharing this with us
Thank you.
and the community.
Absolutely, my honor. Thank you so much.